Hi everyone, it's Ms. Glenny for another virtual story time. Can you guess what the theme of today's stories are? Look behind me. What do you see? Could it be Halloween? Do you like Halloween? I think it can be pretty fun. So we're going to do some stories about with pumpkins and featuring things like that today. Let's get our friends out, shall we? Remember our friends? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. It's good to be with you today, where we have a couple of stories, a couple of little finger plays and rhymes maybe. We'll see what we can figure out today. My first story today is called Duck and Goose, Honk, Quack, Boo. Honk, Quack, Boo. Do any of you know Duck and Goose? I think there might be a couple of them. This one is by Tad Hills. Oh, look at that yellowy. What does that color remind you of at this time of year? Does it remind you of a pumpkin, maybe? I think it does. Let's see. Those are the end papers, and they're always interesting. Duck and Goose, Honk, Quack, Boo by Tad Hills. Duck and Goose sat watching as days slowly became evening. So, Goose, what are you going to be tomorrow? Duck asked. Goose hesitated. Be? Tomorrow? Mom? Well, I think I will be myself, Duck. It's important to always be yourself. Very true, Goose, except for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Halloween. It's the day not to be yourself. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Thistle appeared. Did somebody say Halloween? I love Halloween. I'm not telling what my costume is. It's a secret, she quacked. As she sped off into the shadows, she called back behind her, See you tomorrow, and beware the swamp monster. Goose gulped. Swamp monster? Why would she say, beware the swamp monster? Maybe the swamp monster comes out on Halloween, Duck quacked. Wah, wah. Duck, I'm not a fan of monsters. I don't like monsters either, Goose, but I do like trick-or-treating. Later that night, Goose tried not to think about the swamp monster. A shiver, can you shiver? A shiver ran up his spine as he watched clouds creep around the room like ghosts. His beak quaked as he listened to the groaning wind rattle the branches. Duck closed his eyes and thought of a big bag of treats. Duck is thinking happier things, isn't he? The next day was Halloween. Duck got ready to go trick-or-treating. There he is. And so did Goose. Meanwhile, Thistle was getting ready too. Do you remember what Thistle said? Do you remember? Beware the swamp monster. Do you think that's what's happening? While Goose waited for Duck, he spotted a scary ghost. There's Goose. A scary ghost coming towards them. Hello, Goose, the ghost called. Are you ready to go trick-or-treating? Who are you? Goose honked. Honk. It's me, Duck. Quack, quack, quack. You look more like a ghost to me. Goose honked. How do I know you're not a ghost, Mo? I'm not really a ghost, Duck quacked. Look at my feet. Quack, quack, quack. Goose had to admit that no one had feet like Duck. I'd recognize those feet anywhere, he honked. Well, then let's go, Duck quacked. Do you think we'll see a swamp monster tonight? Goose asked a little nervously. I hope not, Duck quacked. I hope we see lots of treats. When they reached the edge of the forest, trick-or-treating had already begun. Goose sighed with relief. No monsters in sight. But what are there? Do you see things? What's that? That's a really cute bumblebee costume. And little mouse here is a butterfly. Oh, everyone's dressing up. Are you going to be something for Halloween? Hello down there, called a squirrel. I see a spooky ghost and a brave superhero. Actually, these are costumes. We are Duck and Goose, honked Goose. Trick or treat, honk, quacked Duck. Excuse me, said a friendly daisy. Did you say you are Duck and Goose? I just met a swamp monster who's looking for you. Worried, a little bit worried. Goose froze. A swamp monster? He asked. Duck, why would a swamp monster be looking for us? I don't know, Goose, and I don't think I want to know. Oh, there's the swamp monster now, said the friendly Daisy. And it's heading our way. Here comes Swamp Monster. There's Daisy. Duck and Goose turned and saw the scariest, slimiest, and most hideous swamp monster ever. It's after us! Quick, run! Duck, run! Cried Goose. And Duck and Goose took cover and jumped into the bush to hide. They huddled together and were as quiet as they could be. They heard the thump, thump, thump of the swamp monster's footsteps getting closer and closer and closer. We're goners! The footsteps suddenly stopped. There's the swamp monster. Duck, Goose, is that you? The swamp monster called. You're right, Goose, Duck whispered. We're goners. We're doomed. Suddenly Goose remembered his cape and the G on his chest. Duck, I am a brave superhero, and you are the spookiest ghost I have ever seen, and there are 2 of us and only 1 swamp monster. Goose whispered. We can scare it away. And with that, the brave superhero and the spooky ghost leapt out from behind the leafy bush. Goose honked his bravest honk. Monk! Can you do a brave honk? Monk! And Duck quacked his scariest quack. Let's hear your scary quack. Good job. Boo! They all hollered together. Boo! The 2 of them. Yikes! You sure scared me, the swamp monster quacked. I've been looking everywhere for you. Thistle? Goose honked. Is that you? Duck quacked. How do you like my costume? Asked Thistle. I told you to beware of the swamp monster. I gave you the heads up. Pretty scary, aren't I? I've seen scarier, Duck quacked. Oh, well, we don't scare too easily. Well, that's good, because it's time to go trick-or-treating, Thistle quacked. And so the ghosts and the brave superhero and the scariest, slimiest, and hideous swamp monster ever wandered the forest, filling their bags with Halloween treats. Later, back in the meadow, Duck and Goose sorted through all their treats, and in the light of the moon, they shared their Halloween stories about a masked superhero, a spooky ghost, and a swamp monster who wasn't really that scary after all. And that's the story of Duck and Goose. Honk, quack, boo! Can we hear your scary boo for Halloween? Boo! I think I have a little thing about pumpkins. Should we think about pumpkins? Do we have a pumpkin here? Let's get our pumpkins out, shall we? 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. I have a different one. It's about ghosts. Do you see ghosts behind you? We'll do the pumpkin one later. See the ghosts? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should we do it with them? 5 little ghosts flying through the door. Let's see if I can remember it. 1 flew away. And then there were how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little ghosts, spooky as can be. Can you be spooky like a ghost? Woo! 1 flew away. And then, ooh, there were 3. Do you see them? I'll take that one down. That's a trick-or-treat bag. 3 little ghosts. 1 flew away. Little spooky ones. Should we make it fly away? Ooh. Then there were how many? 1, 2. Yes. 2 little ghosts having lots of fun. 1 went home, and then there was 1. 1 little ghost, a real superhero. He went to help a friend, and then there were 0. Should we do it with our fingers too? Let's do it with our fingers. 5 little ghosts flying through a door. 1 flew away, and then there were 4. 4 little ghosts, spooky as can be. 1 flew away, and then there were 3. Can you make a 3 with your fingers? Nice. 3 little ghosts drinking Halloween brew. 1 flew away, and then there were 2. 2 little ghosts having lots of fun. 1 went home, and then there was 1. 1 little ghost, a real superhero. He went to help a friend, and then there were 0. Can you make a 0 with your fist? Make a little hole. There's a 0. There's a 0. Yes. And that's our ghosts flying through the air. I have one more story for us today, and you might want to remember when you come to the library next time, ask if we have any take and makes, because Ms. Carol and Ms. Pauline put together this little kit with cotton balls. You can make some ghosts if you want to make some ghosts, or you can come and you can make a mummy and a pumpkin. Those are kind of fun too. So come by the library next time you check out your books. Say, are there any make and take Halloween projects? Because I'd like to make one, and there just might still be one here for you. Our last story today is called 5 Little Pumpkins, and you might know this rhyme. I'm not sure. 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The second one, where did the first one go? I turned 2 pages at the same time. Sometimes that happens. Should we start again? 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "We don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." Can you run in place? Run and run and run. And the fifth one said, "I'm ready for some fun." Woo went the wind, and out went the light. And the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Should we do it? Should we do it with our hands? I think we can. I think that's what I was doing before. Get your 5 little pumpkins out. 5 little pumpkins sitting on the gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." And the third one said, "We don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." The fifth one said, "Let's have some fun." And ooh went the wind, and out went the light. And the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Should we do it one more time? Yeah, one more time. 5 little pumpkins sitting on the gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." What number that is? Third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run and run and run." The fifth one said, "Let's have some fun." Woo went the wind, and out went the light, and the 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Yes. It's fun to learn those little rhymes and finger plays sometimes and practice. So I hope you join me again whenever you feel like it. You can go to YouTube anytime and come read a story, have a story with me, and learn some finger plays. They're a whole lot of fun. And I have one last pumpkin-y one because I do love pumpkins. Do you like pumpkin pie? Do you like pumpkin bread? Do you like pumpkin stew? Well, this one might be for you. Let's see if I can remember this one. Let's see. I'm going to put that one right here so I can see it. We do this. We clap on your knees. Can you see my knees or the table? So we're going to go. Clap your knees. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's going to be part of it. And it's going to go pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin bread. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin head. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin eye. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin cake. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin shake. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin stew. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin boo. I think we should do that one again, one last time. Pumpkin. We start with clapping our knees, don't we? Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin bread. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin head. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin eyes. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin cake. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin shake. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin stew. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin boo. Should we get our little friends out for a goodbye? Maybe you can teach that to your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad. That would be fun. One friend, two friend. Do you remember how this one goes when we say goodbye? Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. It's been a great pleasure reading stories with you today and pumpkin breading. And remember, when you come to the library to check out, you might want to come and ask if they have any take and make ghosts you could make, or take and make mummy, or little pumpkin. So remember to ask at the desk. It's been a great pleasure. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.